Robinhood is set to buy European crypto exchange Bitstamp in a $200 million deal. And it's Robinhood's first expansion outside of the United States and its latest push to stay in the crypto space. For more on the deal, we're joined by Bloomberg's Paige Smith. Of course, Robinhood now reacting very well on top of the news. You have Robinhood shares spiking. But elephant in the room here, this deal comes about a month after they disclosed a Wells notice from the SEC regarding their crypto business. How are they so comfortable to dive into crypto despite that concern from the SEC?
Thank you for having me. And I think that that is a very good question to be asking right now. I think that it's fair to say that crypto activities sort of across the market are under fire. Robinhood's not being an exception to that. That being said, if you look at Robinhood's most recent earnings, their crypto revenues bolstered the earnings quite significantly. So I think it is certainly a bet for Robinhood. It is also a bet outside of Robinhood's home market of the United States. It's sort of a push as part of that global expansion for the firm. So it's certainly a bet on crypto, given the sort of elephant in the room, if you will.
Is it a bet on crypto as much as it is a bet on diversifying Robinhood here? Because remember, there's a lot of concern over the last couple of years on their reliance for payment for order flow. How much have they been able to diversify?
Well, Robinhood has been branching out into a number of different financial services offerings, sort of across the consumer-facing spectrum. There are retirement products that are now an option for Robinhood users. The Menlo Park-based firm based in California also rolled out a credit card for some of its users. So it certainly is a push from the firm to kind of branch out and just kind of be an app or a financial services company for all sorts of consumers and in kind of at all points in their life as well, right?
You mentioned people going to Robinhood more for crypto trading. I mean, how significant is it for them this time around to be a bigger part of that space?
I think that it is as I mentioned, it was a huge part of their earnings last quarter, and they're certainly betting big on it. This expansion shows that, and it's not just in the U.S., of course. The U.S. regulators have certainly cracked down on crypto, but I believe that there are other markets that are perhaps more friendly, though there have been some recent regulations coming out of the EU related to crypto. So I think that it's certainly a bet for the company, but they're doubling down on it. And, they're not alone. If you look in the fintech space and look at other firms like Block, for example, are also betting on crypto. And it's certainly something that's not going away.
It's interesting because I understand this is the first foray for Robinhood into the institutional business of crypto as well. It also brings them abroad in an interesting way, too. Does Robinhood have a significant global presence yet, or is this something that really adds to the fire there for them?
I think to the latter part of the question, it certainly adds to the fire, and also the idea that earlier in the spring, I believe, Robinhood launched their trading app in the United Kingdom, but I think that the eyes are global. Like, they are looking to expand outside of the United States. This provides sort of a foothold in the United Kingdom and also in the EU more broadly. Excuse me, they have already launched the app in the United Kingdom, but Bitstamp is based in the EU and has presence in a number of EU countries, including the Netherlands, for example.
It's pretty interesting. So this deal alone, it closes in the first half of next year, pending regulatory approval and all sorts of other things as deals do. But what does this really mean about what Robinhood can become in the next couple of years?
I think you have sort of seen a lot of these financial services companies that started in kind of one corner of the financial world and kind of grabbed their foothold, if you will, and are now looking to expand and say, hey, if we want to stick around for a long time, we need to diversify our offerings. We need to get into, in Robinhood's case, credit cards, or we need to get into lending in some capacity, or we need to offer, we need to be the best retail brokerage there is around. So, in Robinhood's case, you have a number of different competitors. You have more traditional players like Charles Schwab. You have kind of other app-based retail brokerages. And then, if you have just other fintechs that are offering sort of similar capabilities for consumers and targeting younger consumers that maybe don't, if it's JP Morgan is top of mind for our parents, perhaps. Maybe Robinhood is top of mind for kind of the next younger generation. And it's a way for them to grow and mature financially.